The question that everybody's asking that's watching us right now is, well, we see the cold air coming. Are we going to be able to get any snowfall? Chris, you brought up a good point about the blocking. You've got to have getting snowfall is kind of like severe weather. You have to have all the ingredients come together to get these elements to come in. So we've got the cold air. A blocking pattern normally means that we could see some wintry precipitation set up. You have to have the setup. Is the potential there? Is the pattern look favorable for a snow event? Obviously, with the cold air coming in, we're going to see those troughs develop. So that's a favorable pattern. It's just now, can you get the moisture to sync up with that? And that's the $64,000 question. Will we have a precipitation maker move through the area while the cold air has established itself here? So that's something we'll have to watch. I don't see anything that's defining and saying, yeah, it's going to snow this day or that day, but I do believe the pattern is starting to get more favorable for the chance of winter weather. And it seems to me, no matter what the pattern is, February can always at least buy 1 or 2 snow events in the Carolinas. So per se, there's nothing really in the cards right now, but the pattern is getting very favorable. So I wouldn't be shocked to see in the next several weeks at least a couple of opportunities of seeing some winter storms develop here in the foothills and the Piedmont. And so with that, I want to toss it to Chris, who is in the Midlands of South Carolina. He can cover the upstate and the Midlands, and then we'll toss it to our coastal boys.
Yeah, just to repeat a lot of what you guys are talking about with this long range pattern, it looks like it's going to be setting up. Just the biggest thing is that once you get that cold air over the eastern United States, you get the active southern branch of the jet stream to phase with that cold air, and then you have the recipes together for a good southeastern. When I say southeastern, I mean Midlands, upstate, even the low country of South Carolina snow event. And anytime you have warm air at the surface with cold air trying to chase the moisture, that it's never going to work out for a good snowstorm across South Carolina. We've seen that time and time again a few days ago, a couple weeks ago, and so forth. You really need that cold air to be robust, from the surface all the way up through the top of the troposphere to really get a good snowstorm in South Carolina. And just up until now, the pattern hasn't supported anything that's going to lead to a big snow event in South Carolina. But looking forward, day 10, day 15 on some of the ensemble stuff, the pattern looks a lot better. So just going forward, that's something to watch for around the end of January to see what happens.
I think the word we're trying to say, Chris, is patience. Just be patient.
Absolutely, just patience.
All right,
for the coast, it's gonna take a lot. It's been pretty mild here. I mean, honestly, our sea surface temperatures are a little bit warmer than they would need to be for anything significant. But last year we had a cold pattern set up for about 3 weeks before we had our snowstorm, and it dropped the sea surface temperatures down. What that does is if the wind is northeast off the ocean and it's coming into the coastline, you tend to get a little bit of a warm layer up that changes that over to more of a sleet or freezing rain layer. We call this warm nosing. So that's one thing we got to watch at the coastline. If we end up with a straight north and northwest flow all the way to the coast, and it just pushes that cold air down right into moisture. And what we really need is a component of low pressure off the coast to really wrap some moisture into the coast. There's some sort of connection to the Gulf of Mexico as well. That would usually trigger some sort of wintry event here, but it's very hard. It's hard enough to see that happen in central South Carolina, the Midlands, and all the way up through the upstate, but it's even harder at the coastline. So last year was one of those very rare, very extremely rare events. But this year, looking at the current pattern, we're going to need to get cooler a lot sooner. I think we're going to need to see that for a while. 5 days to a week at least of some pretty chilly weather and some overnight lows down into the freezing temps to get that ground cool.